Hello, and thank you for joining me on this presentation for Scouting the Path Ahead to Radio. My dream job is to eventually become a sports talk show radio host, a la Dan Patrick. Today, I think that I will be scouting out a path to where I can eventually get to that end goal. The first step is to find an entry-level position. For this position, it is in Phoenix, Arizona, which isn't too bad from where I live. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I do know a lot about the Arizona sports market. So being able to talk about it would be really simple, and getting into this job seems to be a great first step. The required skills and experience don't seem too aggressively overqualified for this entry-level position. 2 years post-high school education, perfect for what I'm doing here at Full Sail. Passion for news and current affairs, especially within sports. Ability to use humor, aggressive attitude with a strong desire to advance in the broadcasting media. I possess all of these qualities and more, which is why I think I'd be a perfect fit for this position. Moving on, this job is also in Phoenix, Arizona. It is a board operator. I feel that having this position will give me the skills and tools necessary to be able to know how it works behind the scenes, more so than just speaking into a microphone. And I know that if I can get this position and get these job skills under my belt, I could be a great addition to any radio station nation or even worldwide. The required skills and experience is very short and to the point. I really like that. 2 years news talk, sports radio, control room work. I feel like I can get that done with the fill-in position that they have, as well as the ability to drive company vehicles. I mean, if you can drive, you get the job. So that's wonderful. And I think that this job would be perfect in order for me to move up that corporate ladder. Another entry-level position that I feel like I would be very grateful in getting is this editor-anchor on weekends up in Seattle. Again, not too far from where I live in Salt Lake City. The responsibilities, news content production, writing brief but factual and compelling articles, news scans, overseeing the technical systems. I think these would all be great in allowing me to gain the experience I would need to run my own show. The required skills and experience and preferred qualifications, but they're not required, which is, I think, great, because then they'll be looking at everyone on the same level if I have a degree or not, but of course I'm getting a degree. The ability to write factual and compelling news copy. I feel like I am a great writer. I have experience in the past of writing. And then understanding social media platforms, growing up in the internet era is where I have that, so this position is great. And then to follow that position up, if I were to move back home to Salt Lake, this radio associate producer, where you're producing a show. You're not the main producer for the show, you're helping out the main producer, but you would be getting more of that behind the scenes work and getting all the nitty-gritty stuff under your belt so that you know how to help your producers out instead of being a prima donna. The required knowledge, skills, and abilities, this is a little bit more intense. But obviously with what I'm going to be learning here at Full Sail, it won't be anything that I can't handle with the tools that you will be providing me. The ability to research, obviously I've had to do that for this project. Ability to understand and execute format philosophy, just quickly learning what they want to do. And working in a team environment is another thing that is rather simple, both with my former professional career and what I've learned. And continuing on with that learning theme, the classes that I think will most enhance my tools and abilities to get into the job market that I want to be in, first and foremost would be broadcast writing, where I will be learning how to write copy for broadcasts instead of overwriting or using flowery language, just getting to the point, getting what you want to say out there, and I know that Full Sail will give me the opportunity to get really good at that. Speaking of getting really good at something, the fundamentals of public relations. Being an on-air talent, you're going to need to be good at relations with a whole slew of people. Whether it's people you get along with or people that you don't think you would. And I know that Full Sail will allow me the opportunity to learn these different scenarios and how to come out not necessarily smelling like a rose, but being able to use these connections well. And after making those connections by using the tools from public relations, I can use what I learned in advanced interviewing to make sure that we don't have those awkward interviews where the person I'm interviewing doesn't know what I'm talking about, or to avoid those those dreaded one-word answers. All of this will ultimately accumulate into my own show. This is an example of a show or a job that I am going to be looking for when I get out of Full Sail's program. Obviously, 3+ years full-time on-air experience, that's going to be something I'll need to find and get on with, but I feel like those jobs that I mentioned earlier will get me there, and I think that this would be a great opportunity and potentially a great career. The two associations that I think would be beneficial for that golden career would be SAG-AFTRA, the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, and the NAB, the National Association of Broadcasters. Both of these associations work very hard to create jobs and job environments for people like me looking to get into television and radio, and guaranteeing a fair wage and fair benefits. And I just want to say thank you for taking the time out to watch this video and presentation. And here you will find the citations and resources that I used for this slideshow. And I will see you on the radio.